I had no idea that there were black people on U.S. currency. I mean, we went to a memorabilia show, and Pamela saw the Booker T. Washington coin, and we were just kind of floored because we just didn't know it existed. I was also shocked to find out that there were so many beautiful, brilliant, resilient, consequential, powerful black people on currency, and that their accomplishments had been honored through congressional legislation, which is how you end up being on a commemorative coin medallion medal. And these were signed into law by the sitting President of the United States. So there's the fact that they exist, the list of people that have made the fronts of these objects, and the fact that there's a whole legislative process behind it. That's how it comes to be. To be featured on commemorative currency is one of the nation's highest honors. To be featured on a commemorative bronze medal means that you've been awarded a Congressional Gold Medal, which is one of our nation's highest civilian honors. For the Love of Money celebrates the black icons, seminal historic events, and institutions whose significant contributions to both American and black history have been recognized by law through U.S. currency, through coins, medals, and medallions. We also have anti-slavery tokens, concept coins featuring black images, and the new presidential Barack Obama medals included in this exhibition. The 41 objects represented in this exhibition also represent indelible milestones in our century-long struggle to achieve equality in this country. First 246 years of slaves, next 90 years of struggle through Reconstruction and Jim Crow, the 14-year movement for civil rights, which brings us to the 70s, which is our favorite decade, when we started to realize some of the gains of the civil rights movement, followed by 50 years of progress that gets us to the election and re-election of Barack Obama. All that's really represented in this exhibition. The history commemorated by these objects reminds us that our story has been filled with triumphs, followed by setbacks, joys followed by heartbreaks. But along the way, we've continued to break barriers and achieve historic firsts. And a lot of the historic firsts are represented throughout the exhibition. These objects remind us that a brave black patriot was the first to die in the Revolutionary War, of the significant contributions in World War II of the Tuskegee Airmen and Montford Point Marines that led to the desegregation of the armed forces. The first black flying fighter ace. And the first black Civil Air Patrol officer. That we've also served the military in roles of the first black Secretary of State, first black Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and most recently the first black Commander-in-Chief. These objects remind us that brilliant black men rose up from slavery to vice presidents, that exceptional black athletes broke the color barrier at home and defeated white supremacy on the world stage. Carrying the hopes and dreams of the race on their shoulders, staring down racism with dignity, and dominating their sports. That strong black women sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, worked tirelessly behind the scenes to help move the March on Washington and Civil Rights Movement forward. That determined black youth sat in, rode, marched, and refused to be permanently turned around. That 9 black high school students endured a year of hatred and racism to desegregate Little Rock Central High School under the protection of the National Guard. That a renowned black opera singer graced the steps of the Lincoln Memorial and performed at the White House at the invitation of the First Lady and the President, that transcendent black jazz musicians changed the world with their tremendous gifts. And that one black man inspired a diverse coalition with his historic run for the presidency, inclusive vision of hope. That with all that we've accomplished, we have a lot of work to do to really pay back the investment of those who have come before us. And we're reminded that at a time when some want to diminish our accomplishments and rewrite some of the more painful aspects of our history, that the history and positive representations captured in this exhibition and through the commemorative legislation responsible for these objects are invaluable artifacts that help to accurately present and archive the black experience in the United States. These objects are tangible, they're permanent, and through this exhibition they're accessible. And that's why the objects in the exhibition is important. And that's why the work that the Museum of American Finance has done here is so important, to make this accessible to the public so that they can learn about how amazing these people were and, again, about the process that legislators went through to produce these objects. The U.S. government provided one of the earliest forms of recognition for black excellence, contribution, and value. And when I think about the fact that the Booker T. Washington coin came out in the 40s, when some of the most popular images of black people were blackface images, minstrel show images. And when you look at how dignified the portrait of Booker T. Washington is, and then you look at how dignified and beautiful the portraits of George Washington Carver and Booker T. Washington are, you start to realize how revolutionary this was, how amazing it was that at that time these very famous black Americans were featured in this way, supported by the government. In their 1970s hit, For the Love of Money, which is the inspiration for the title of the exhibition, the OJs preach about the evils of money. I think, kind of the whole slavery through Jim Crow has all the evil stuff covered. But the OJs also encourage people to do good things with their money. And the recognition of our contributions for the betterment of American society on commemorative currency is a good thing. It's an amazing thing. One verse in the song says, "For a small piece of paper, it carries a lot of weight." And in our capitalist society, it certainly does. And it's for this reason that we are extremely excited about the plan to add Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Marian Anderson, and Martin Luther King Jr. to the 20, the 10, and the $5 bills in 2020. We're very excited about that. But in the meantime, what a lot of people don't know is there are already a lot of black Americans represented on U.S. currency. This exhibition being hosted here on Wall Street kind of brings us full circle. Slaves were bought and sold on the street. They built Wall Street. And slaves were represented on Confederate currency. And for there to be an exhibition here that depicts slaves and descendants of slaves in such a positive way, being honored at the center of the financial universe, it's a very powerful thing. It's a very emotional thing for me. And I thought I would be emotional, and then when I got here, I'm really emotional about it. It's a very, very powerful thing. And again, I really thank the museum for doing this. The fact that the first black president is also recognized in this exhibition brings everything full circle as well. Barack Obama is my Jackie Robinson. And for somebody who loves history and loves black history and has always said, gee, I wish I was around when that thing happened and I could have been a part of history happening, and something that you didn't expect to happen happened. It's amazing to have something that I never expect to happen in my lifetime happen in my lifetime. And to be able to include that in this exhibition, both legislation that he approved as a president that was able to honor some of the people who are featured here, as well as having his presidential medals here, is also a very powerful thing. This exhibition is a celebration and positive expression of our experience. Thank you for coming to celebrate this with us, and thank you again to the Museum of American Finance for putting the exhibition on. Thank you.